Bookworms, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm, and welcome back to my channel. So I am starting a readathon vlog. I decided sort of last minute to participate in the Get Graphic-a-thon that's happening. It starts later today. It's Friday right now. It starts at 5 p.m. my time on Friday and goes all the way through midnight on Sunday. I'm on my way to the library right now to pick up 5 graphic novels that I requested specifically for this readathon. I don't usually read graphic novels very often. I have dabbled in it a little bit in the past, but it's just not something that I usually reach for. But I have been pretty far behind on my Goodreads challenge this year. I keep hovering between like 6 to 8 to 9 books behind schedule, and I thought participating in this readathon would be the perfect way to help me reach my Goodreads reading goal for the year. Also, I don't think I've shown my new car in a vlog before, but Justin and I bought a new car back in June or July, and we're sitting in it right now. I drive it most of the time. I bought a 2017 Sonata. It has like all the bells and whistles. It has a huge like moon roof that I really like, and it's a really comfy car to drive. Anyways, that's my new car. I am at the library. I'm about to go pick up these books. I'm actually on my lunch break from work right now. Luckily, the library is just around the corner from me, so I didn't have to go very far. Alright, I will show you what I'm getting in just a second after I go get them. Okay guys, so I just left the library and now I'm at Sonic. I just ordered some food for lunch. If you guys like mozzarella sticks and you haven't ever tried ones from Sonic, I definitely recommend the Sonic cheese sticks because they are so good. I dip them in ranch and they're really not healthy, but I eat them way too often. Sometimes that's just what I'm craving. Anyways, on to the books that we got. So, the first graphic novel I got was Sculptor by Scott McCloud. This one I got to fulfill the challenge of being over 300 pages, and I've heard a lot about this one and it sounds really interesting. I'm not super into the idea of like reading a comic that has a lot of continuations because I just don't read graphic novels or comics that often. I feel like I'm never gonna finish the series. So I really like that this is like one complete story, even though it's like over 300 pages. I don't remember how many pages it is, but I checked. It is over 300. And then to kind of fulfill like my October reading mood, let's see, what other prompts does this fulfill? This is going to fulfill the Read a New to You series and read more than one in the series. And also these will fulfill Picked Out for You by a Friend because my friend Shoshana recommended these to me. And they're the first 3 volumes of Lock and Key. This is volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3, which this one is actually hardback, which I think is kind of cool. I've never read anything by Joe Hill or Stephen King, although I am reading my first Stephen King right now. I'm not very far into it. So I'm really excited to read something kind of spooky that is a graphic novel, and I'm glad that I went ahead and got all 3 of them so that I can kind of binge the first 3. Maybe I'll even binge the rest of the series. I have no idea if it's a completed series because I don't keep up with graphic novels, so I don't really know. But excited to read that. Oh, my food's here. Hold on. So after those 4, the only prompt that I was missing was reading something that's in black and white, which I don't know that many graphic novels or comics that are in black and white. I know there are a few, like the Walking Dead series, etc., but I didn't know any off the top of my head, so I was like, this is a perfect excuse to read a manga. I have very limited experience with manga. I've read the first 2 volumes of Attack on Titan, and that was over a year ago, so I didn't really feel like picking up that series right now. And when I was doing my research, I came across Orange, which is like a contemporary but with a sci-fi twist. This girl gets a letter from her future self or something. And this is actually really, really long. This could have probably doubled for the over 300 pages. So I don't know, maybe I won't get to Sculptor just because it only fulfills that one challenge and this will fulfill both, just depending on how much time I have. But this is actually like multiple volumes in one. It's called the Complete Collection 1. Going back to like not wanting to read something and not being able to finish the story, I thought getting a big volume like this would be good because it would feel more like a complete story, or hopefully it is a complete story because there's a lot of pages to read here. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. And yeah, those are all 5 of the graphic novels that I got for Get Graphic-a-thon. I thought about getting more, but I think these are going to keep me pretty busy this weekend, especially now that I see how big this one is. Like, I didn't realize that it was so big. There weren't any page numbers on my library website, so I knew it was multiple volumes in one, but I wasn't aware it was this thick. So anyways, those are the books that I'm going to be reading this weekend, and I'm going to be keeping you guys updated on my progress during this readathon vlog. Alright, I'll check in with you later. Hello guys, so it is just a little bit before 7, so the Get Graphic-a-thon has officially started at 5:30, and the first one I decided to pick up is going to be this Orange Volume 1. So the reason why I decided to start with this one is because just in case I don't have time to finish Sculptor, this can fulfill both the read something in black and white and something that's over 300 pages. So if I read this and then just the 3 Lock and Key comic books, then I will have fulfilled all, I would have fulfilled all 5 challenges, but one of the challenges is to read 5 things. So I guess that's a little bit irrelevant. I'm gonna have to try to read all, like, both of this and the Sculptor, even though they're both kind of long. But you know, these are mostly pictures, so I'm anticipating that it won't take that long. So I'm gonna start on this right now. We'll see how far I get. I do have a little bit of a headache, which is unfortunate, but I'm about to go take some headache medicine and hopefully it will go away. So I will check in with you later. Hello bookworms. Okay, so it is Saturday afternoon. It's a little after 1:30. I read about 2/3 of Orange yesterday. Finally figured out like exactly what is in here as far as like the whole series. So the whole series, there are about 6 volumes, and this is the first 3, which is kind of annoying because at the top you can't really see it in the picture, but it's called the Complete Collection 1. So I really thought I was getting a whole story here, and really it's just half. Because by now I finished it. I read the last third this morning / afternoon. I slept in a little bit and then finished it while I was having breakfast. And it was pretty good. I'm gonna rate it 4 stars. It's definitely more of a contemporary story than science fiction in any sense. The only science fiction part is where she is getting letters from her future self. But other than that, it's a lot about just like high school drama, like who likes who has a crush on who, are you gonna go out with them, are you not gonna go out with them, that kind of stuff, which I don't love. It's kind of boring and annoying. And the main character in this, I found her to be kind of annoying because she has like no self-confidence. She's always trying to like please other people. I do understand that some of that comes from like Asian cultures. I'm half Korean. I can see why she's a character like that, but after a certain point, to me, it's just kind of frustrating. But at the same time, this is all a story about her growth and her gaining more confidence and getting outside of her comfort zone and that kind of stuff. So she does grow a lot through this first half of the story. That was really good to see. As far as the characters, I do like them. They're interesting, but I do have a harder time connecting with characters from graphic novels. I don't feel as close to them. And I think that makes sense because you're not quite as like in their head as you would be in like a narrative or like a traditional narrative. At the same time, this book is also about some sad topics. I would give a trigger warning for suicide for this book. It's really weird because even though I didn't feel super emotionally attached to any of these characters and some of them were kind of annoying, at the same time I was on the verge of tears multiple times while reading the first 3 out of the 6 volumes. So it obviously affected me on an emotional level somehow, but at the same time I don't feel particularly close with the characters. But yeah, overall definitely a 4 out of 5 read, and I need to get my hands on the 2nd volume of the complete collection. I don't think that my library has it though, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. I would like to know the ending of the story while it's still relatively fresh in my mind. I'm gonna have to do some searching and figure out a way to get my hands on the 2nd half of this without buying it because I don't particularly want to own it. If anyone knows if this has been made into an anime, let me know because I would love to watch it. Now I am gonna get ready for the day because I had kind of a late morning. I'm gonna go run a few errands with my husband, and then later today I'm hoping to do some more graphic reading. I'll check in with you then. Hello bookworms! So it is still Saturday, it's about 9:30 p.m. and I'm finally getting back to the reading. After I ran some errands earlier, I ended up getting distracted by a project that I'm going to be working on over the next couple months. Kind of a secret project because I'm not going to really speak about the details here, at least not yet, but maybe I will in a few months. So anyways, I got lost in the world of YouTube and looking at stuff for that project. But now it is 9:30 and I am ready to do some reading. So for tonight's reading, I thought I would do my scary graphic novels, or I guess these are more comic books. But I'm going to be reading the first 3 issues of Lock and Key, which is by Joe Hill and illustrated by Gabriel Rodriguez. I don't think reading these 3 volumes will take me too long, so hopefully I can get that done tonight before I go to bed. So I will check in with you later. Hello bookworms! So it is Sunday, the last day of the Get Graphic Readathon, and it's about 3 p.m. So last night I sat down to read the 3 Lock and Key volumes that I had out from the library, and I think I was being a little ambitious in thinking that I could read all 3 volumes or issues in one sitting, because they took longer to read than I expected. I started at 9:30 and I finished at like 12:30. Each one took me like a little over an hour to get through. 12:30 is way past my bedtime, so I definitely went to bed after that. I woke up this morning kind of late and I finished this 3rd volume of Lock and Key. I mean, they're pretty short, but they still take more time to get through than I was expecting. I gave them all 4 out of 5 stars. I wanted these to be more scary than they actually ended up being. I never at any point was really scared about anything. It was more just like an interesting story, and I went into this thinking it was mostly about a haunted house, and so I was expecting like ghosts and stuff, and while the house is sort of haunted, it's not the traditional kind of haunting, and really it's a lot more about a specific family. In the very beginning of the comic, this family experiences a tragedy, and it's kind of about the things that happen to them after that tragedy. So there was a lot more like relationship and family dynamics in here than I was expecting to read. And when I say in here, I don't mean in this 3rd issue that I read, in all 3 that I read. I only wish that it was a little scarier than it is. I will say that the art is gorgeous. At the end of each of these, they had like an art gallery that had some really big glossy pictures that were beautiful, like that one, these. Sorry for the glare. There we go. The art on these art galleries was gorgeous. I loved that. And yeah, the story's really interesting, and it's intriguing enough that I do want to finish reading them. I looked on Goodreads and it looks like there might be 6 issues in total, so I think I've read half of the series, just because they haven't published another one of these in a while, so I think it's complete. If you guys know that this series is not complete and they're going to be releasing more, let me know. From what I can tell, I've read half of this series, which is funny because I've also read half of Orange. So during this readathon, I read half of 2 series. So that's fun. And just a little bit ago, I started The Sculptor. Sorry about the glare. Library copies, they're shiny, what can I do? And I just barely started this. I'm on page 26. I already love the art style. It's all in black and blue, if you can see that. And they're very like simple pictures, but I really like this art style. But yeah, it's already 3 o'clock and I'm just barely starting this, and I'm a little bit intimidated by the size. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this today. To be honest, after finishing the Lock and Key graphic novels, or issues, or whatever they're called, I'm kind of burnt out on graphic novels and I don't really feel like reading more. And I've completed 4 out of 5 of the challenges, the 5th challenge being to read 5 things. I really wish I hadn't picked 2 really large graphic novels to read out of my 5 graphic novels, but I don't have any other one to substitute to be like my 5th item. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading this and see how far I get. I don't think I'm gonna read it all in one sitting. That's definitely not gonna happen, but I will just see how far I get, and then I'll take a break and pick it up before I go to bed and see if I can finish this bad boy. Okay, so I'm gonna go read this now, and hopefully I check in with you later tonight saying that I've completed it, but I'd say it's about 50-50 whether or not I actually complete this today. Bye! Hello bookworms! So it is Sunday evening now. It's about 9 p.m. So let's see, earlier, the last time I checked in with you, I was reading The Sculptor. I read for about an hour and a half. I got a little less than halfway through, and then I took a break just because I really needed a break after reading most of my afternoon. Then later in the night I went and had dinner, and I took The Sculptor with me while I was eating. I was reading a little bit, so that brings me to now. I'm a little more than halfway through it, so I've taken a shower and I'm all ready for bed now. So I'm gonna sit here and try and finish this book before I fall asleep. I do have to wake up really early tomorrow. If it takes me too long, I won't be able to finish, but I think I should be able to get through the rest of this in about an hour and a half. which would put me at about 10:30, 11, which is about the time that I go to bed. So I'm pretty sure I could do this. I don't know if I'm going to check in again tonight. Chances are I'm going to be too tired, and I will just wrap up this vlog tomorrow instead. So we'll see you on the other side. Hello, bookworms! So it is Tuesday morning. Like I had planned, didn't wrap up on Sunday night because by the time I was finished reading, I was just ready to go to bed. And Monday, like I had mentioned, I had to wake up really early at 6 a.m., which is personally way before what I typically wake up. And I ended up having a really full day, which I also was kind of expecting. So to me, it's no surprise that I'm not wrapping up Get Graphickathon until Tuesday morning. The good news is that I did finish The Sculptor on Sunday night. It only took me a little over an hour, and I was asleep by 11, so that was awesome. And I gave The Sculptor 5 out of 5 stars. I haven't given any graphic novels 5 stars before, and it might be like a 4.5 that I rounded up to 5 on Goodreads. I haven't quite decided yet, but The Sculptor really got me in the feels. I became so attached to those characters and was really emotionally affected by the things that they went through. I cried a little at the end, and it really just affected me more than any other graphic novel I've ever read before. So that's why I felt like I needed to give it 5 stars. I know I mentioned that Orange also was kind of emotional, and it did make me tear up a few times, but what it was missing was that I wasn't connecting with the characters. I still felt the characters to be a little shallow. I mean, like I said, it was like a high school drama, and that's just not really what I'm into. I'm not into like he likes you, she likes you, let's date sort of stuff. That's why that didn't affect me quite as much, even though it does touch on some heavy subjects like suicide. I think I gave a trigger warning for suicide. In addition to The Sculptor being a success, I would say all of Get Graphickathon was a success because I met all of my challenges. So I read 5 things. The Sculptor was my over 300 pages challenge. The Orange compilation was the Black and White challenge, and then the 3 Lock and Key volumes were recommended by a friend, new to me series, and more than 1 volume in the same series. So that was the Lock and Key. So I met all the challenges. I'm pretty, oops, didn't mean to hit you. I'm pretty sure that I have never met all the challenges of a readathon before, because usually they're just, I mean, it's like read 7 books or read 5 books, and like, I can't read that much in a week. I'm lucky if I can read 1 book in a week. I know my Goodreads challenge was sitting about 8 books behind, so I should just be 3 books behind. Reading these graphic novels definitely gave my books read number a jump. And I know I want to read the rest of Orange, so there's another one. Oops. Sorry for the angle change. I hit my phone. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about Get Graphickathon. I met all my goals. I read some really good graphic novels, even one that I loved, The Sculptor. I definitely recommend that one if you guys haven't read it. I would recommend it even if you guys haven't really connected with a graphic novel before, just like I had it. I mean, I've read them and enjoyed them. They were fun, but they didn't really get to me like a real book does. But The Sculptor felt like a real book to me. Like, I really connected with those characters and their emotions, and I cried, and it was really good. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish content. I post once a week. If you participated in Get Graphickathon, definitely let me know down in the comments what was your favorite graphic novel that you read, because I definitely want to keep reading graphic novels and need more recommendations. That's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye!